What does Jannik Sinner really envy about Carlos Alcaraz? In a revealing interview for Italian public television, the current world number one has broken his silence after serving a 3-month suspension for doping. With his return to the tour just around the corner and the Rome Masters 1000 as the stage for his comeback, Sinner has reflected on his game, his emotions, and made an unexpected confession about what he most admires in the young player from Murcia. Could this rivalry define the future of tennis? Join us and find out the answer. Jannik Sinner is back. After a forced 3-month break, the Australian Open champion has reappeared before the media with disarming honesty. In an exclusive interview for RAI, he reviewed not only his physical condition but also his mental and technical evolution as a player. Playing tennis is like playing poker, explained the Italian, making it clear that psychology is just as important as talent on the court. In his view, detecting the nervousness or doubts of an opponent can completely change the course of a match. And it's precisely in this emotional realm that he has learned the most during his absence. Far from presenting himself as the cold and unflappable player many believe him to be, Sinner admitted that he also deals with insecurity. There are moments when I don't feel the game, I get nervous because I want to prove I'm capable, he confessed. With these words, he breaks the unshakable image many attribute to him. The pressure to perform at the highest level, the constant need to prove himself, and inevitable mistakes are all part of his maturation process. Smashing the ball or breaking the racket doesn't work, he added, aware that mental control is essential on the road to greatness. Sinner also spoke about his tennis. His backhand is his winning card, his most reliable shot, and he made that clear. Probably the backhand is the strongest, he stated without hesitation. However, the Italian surprised everyone by confessing what he really envies about Carlos Alcaraz. It's not his forehand, nor his serve, nor even his titles. It's something more intangible but tremendously valuable, his ability to improvise, enjoy, and flow amid the chaos. Carlos has a way of playing that feels like he's in a schoolyard, having fun, he said. That naturalness, that joy under pressure, is what Sinner would like to incorporate into his own game. This confession adds a new dimension to their rivalry. While Sinner has built his game on discipline, repetition, and calculation, Alcaraz moves by instinct, by passion, by that unpredictable touch that so captivates fans. For the Italian, incorporating that emotional component could make all the difference in major tournaments. I'd like to learn to play more freely, to enjoy more in important matches, he confessed. And in an increasingly mental sport, Alcaraz's ability to turn each match into a spectacle can be as decisive as a good cross-court backhand. Jannik Sinner has made it clear that his ambition remains intact, but he has also shown a rare humility among great champions. Admitting that he still has things to learn, and that one of his biggest rivals possesses qualities he desires, says a lot about his character. This rivalry between Sinner and Alcaraz is not just about numbers, rankings, or titles, it's a clash of styles, of playing philosophies, and of personal evolution. If he manages to add a bit of Carlitos's flair to his surgical precision, world tennis might be facing an even more dangerous version of Sinner himself. Has a new rival for Carlos Alcaraz emerged during the Mercian's absence? While the Spaniard recovers from an injury and remains out of the Mutua Madrid Open, Argentine Francisco Cerundolo has seized the opportunity to match his records and place himself under the spotlight of world tennis. His incredible performance at the Caja Mágica has taken him to the semifinals, and many already point to him as a rising threat to the tour's biggest names. Are we witnessing the next great figure in Latin American tennis? Let's find out. Francisco Cerundolo has made a strong breakthrough in the final stretch of the 2025 Mutua Madrid Open. The 25-year-old Argentine overcame a tough clash against young Czech Jakub Mensik with a hard-fought victory of 3-6, 7-6-5, and 6-2, thus matching the 24 wins of Carlos Alcaraz and Alex de Minaur so far this season. This figure places him among the most consistent and solid players on tour this year. His entry into the semifinals of the Madrid Masters 1000, his second at this level, confirms his progress and projects him toward his best ATP ranking, at least 18th place. But beyond statistics, the Argentine has shown a maturity on the court that until recently seemed distant. He managed to recover from a difficult start against Mensik, an explosive and rising player, and stayed strong at key moments. His composure in the second set tiebreak was decisive, and his physical and mental display in the third set showed he's no longer just a promise. Cerundolo not only overcame his own ghosts, he had suffered 5 consecutive losses in Masters 1000 quarterfinals, but did so with authority. This achievement in Madrid carries special meaning. The Argentine becomes his country's first semi-finalist in this tournament since Juan Martín del Potro in 2012, a true reference point for South American tennis. And Cerundolo seems ready to follow in the footsteps of the legendary Delpo, breaking barriers and returning Argentina to the spotlight on tennis's biggest stages. His run at the Caja Mágica is already historic, but he wants more. His next challenge will be Casper Ruud, another clay court specialist, with whom he has unfinished business since the 2022 Miami semifinal. On that occasion, Cerundolo fell to the Norwegian in a match where his lack of experience in major events was still evident. Today, however, he arrives with 3 titles under his belt: Båstad 2022, Eastbourne 2023, and Umag 2024, and with much sharper competitive maturity. In addition, his aggressive yet patient playing style, combined with newfound emotional strength, makes him one of the most dangerous dark horses in the draw. With solid baseline play, a consistent serve, and great mobility, Cerundolo is achieving what many expected from him since the beginning. Francisco Cerundolo's emergence into the semifinals of the Mutua Madrid Open not only enriches the tournament, but also sends a clear message to the rest of the tour: there's a new contender in the fight for major titles. Carlos Alcaraz's absence has opened a door that the Argentine has seized with intelligence and determination. Although both now share similar win records this year, Cerundolo's competitive growth in recent weeks makes him a name to closely watch during the European clay court swing. Do you think Francisco Cerundolo can become Carlos Alcaraz's next great rival? Is Argentine tennis ready to once again have a protagonist in Masters 1000 and Grand Slam finals? Share your opinion in the comments, like the video if you enjoy seeing new rivalries on the circuit, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on the present and future of world tennis. Carlos Alcaraz takes a big step in his recovery. The Spanish player returns to training and all signs indicate he will finally compete in the Rome Masters 1000. Carlos Alcaraz has been the most notable absence from the Mutua Madrid Open, after confirming his withdrawal due to injury. The Mercian had played many matches in quick succession, contesting 10 matches in 12 days, which took a toll on his physical condition. The world number 3 managed to win the Monte Carlo Masters 1000 and nearly did the same in the Candid de Godó, but in the final his body said enough. Although Alcaraz was able to finish the match, he didn't want to push and ended up losing to Holger Rune. And even though the Spaniard tried not to raise alarms, it turned out the injury was more serious than initially thought. This was confirmed during the press conference prior to the Madrid Masters 1000, in which he couldn't participate due to a tear in his abductor. But now, Alcaraz is taking another step forward in his recovery. Carlos Alcaraz returns to training after injury. On Wednesday, April 30th, great news arrived about Carlos Alcaraz. The world number 3 has returned to training after a week of recovery, during which he attended other sporting events like the Copa del Rey final and the MotoGP Grand Prix in Jerez. A break he needed after playing in several tournaments consecutively, a decision that drew criticism, and which has allowed him to return to the court to start training. He did so in his native Murcia, at the Real Sociedad Club de Campo in El Palmar. Although he stepped onto the court with bandages on his thighs, as a precaution, his team remains optimistic about his recovery, so all signs point to Alcaraz competing in the Rome Masters 1000, where he will return after 2 years, a tournament that will also serve as preparation for Roland Garros. Rome, the anticipated reunion between Alcaraz and Sinner. The Rome Masters 1000 will hold special importance on the 2025 calendar, as it will be the event where Jannik Sinner returns to competition after serving his suspension for doping. For this reason, and especially after Djokovic's withdrawal, there's great excitement to see Carlos in this tournament and for him to reunite with the Italian and continue their battle for the world number 1. Who truly reigns in world tennis? While Jannik Sinner remains atop the ATP rankings, Carlos Alcaraz has just struck a blow that challenges the Italian's supremacy. The Mercian has achieved a feat that's not measured in points but in millions. He has surpassed $40 million in prize money, something Sinner has not yet achieved. Are we witnessing a new definition of success in tennis? Stay until the end and find out. The battle for world number 1 between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner is more alive than ever. Although the Italian holds the top ATP ranking due to his consistency, Alcaraz stands out for his impact on the biggest stages. His victory in Monte Carlo and his final in the Candid de Godó catapulted him not only to the top of the season but also into the exclusive club of players who have surpassed $40 million in prize earnings. A figure achieved only by legends like Federer, Nadal, or Serena Williams. At 21 years old, Carlos Alcaraz is already among the 11 players who have earned the most prize money in tennis history. A figure that reflects his ability to shine in the most important tournaments. While Sinner has yet to reach that milestone, Alcaraz proves that his impact transcends rankings. Every major tournament he wins brings him both prestige and millions. This difference fuels the debate: is consistency or greatness in key moments more valuable? Alcaraz couldn't play in the Mutua Madrid Open due to injury, but his recent achievements keep him in the global spotlight. In Monte Carlo he was champion, and in Barcelona runner-up. Those achievements were enough to take him past the $40 million mark in prize money, a figure Sinner has yet to match, despite his run as world number one. This reveals a difference in approach. While the Italian stands out for his consistency, Alcaraz shines in the biggest challenges. Moreover, Alcaraz's financial milestone is not only a symbol of success but also of consistency on the biggest stages. He may not win every week, but when he does it in style. Roland Garros, Wimbledon, the US Open. These are titles that boost both his reputation and his income. And although the injury has temporarily sidelined him, this record positions him as a dominant figure. Meanwhile, Sinner still chases the Grand Slam win that could balance the scales. Carlos Alcaraz has once again proven that his place among the greats is no accident. His entry into the 40 million prize club reaffirms him as one of the most influential figures in current tennis. While Jannik Sinner commands the ranking, Alcaraz leads in decisive moments. This new milestone not only distinguishes him, but further fuels the rivalry with the Italian, promising an exciting future for tennis fans.